And I think Candace Parker saw in between what Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, Miley Cameron, what they were trying to do to set her up with this type of questioning, right? So I would like to highlight Candace Parker shutting them down and just speaking about the resentment towards the WNBA, man.
He played the guard position. Like, they at least kind of match up. This, like, what are we doing? So I'm not falling into that. I'm not into the comparison. I think that there are a number of things that Angel can improve on, will improve on in the situation she's in. And I think Caitlin Clark has done that even in her first year in terms of, you know, being able to be that floor general. Her and Aaliyah Boston's connection has really improved.
Jemele Hill was the queen of toxicity.
Finally, a little common sense. Now, and again, this is why I say, like, hey, Candace, I love you to death, great basketball player.
Traditional WNBA people are not going to be happy with what she said about Caitlin Clark.
And I think Caitlin Clark has done that even in her first year in terms of, you know, being able to be that floor general. Her and Aaliyah Boston's connection has really improved.
Quickly, with the quickness, shut that nonsense down. Like, man.
LSU, Iowa result. So now we're just noticing that they're not the same player. They're not the same caliber. They're not the same skill level. Really, how convenient.
Her latest angle? Acting like she's suddenly here to highlight Caitlin Clark's passing skills, something she's never praised before. In fact, she spent more time tearing Clark down than ever giving her credit. It's always about shifting the spotlight to flaws, throwing in passive digs like that 10-turnover game, while conveniently ignoring the actual accomplishment.
Now, Jemele Hill did talk about Angel Reese in this video as well, but the slight digs weren't towards Angel Reese. The slight digs, oh, Caitlin Clark did over a 10-turnover game, that was specifically reserved for Caitlin Clark. And let me just give Jemele Hill some information here.
Jemele Hill has never been one to shy away from controversy, and once again, she stepped right into it. In her latest remarks, Jemele seemed determined to drag Caitlin Clark into yet another unnecessary comparison, this time with Angel Reese. It's the same tired narrative that's been floating around, trying to pit the two players against each other as if they're carbon copies playing the same game.
Now they're suddenly an independent. Now suddenly people are noticing that Angel Reese is nowhere near the skill level of Caitlin Clark. Jason, wasn't that kind of obvious about 3 years ago, regardless of the
4 straight years, and led the country in assists for 3 straight years. So she always was about the passing. And I'm just interested. It's just interesting that Jemele Hill now has this type of revisionist history.
Seems as though, what are you talking about? We all gonna have turnovers like that. Did y'all see that? Did y'all catch that?
The WNBA and the resentment towards Caitlin Clark's popularity and everything that she's brought to the WNBA, gate revenue, the ratings, the attendance.
Talking about toxic environments created by Caitlin Clark fans, when Jemele Hill was the queen of toxicity, going on show after show after show after show, telling everybody.
But at the end of the day, you're a woman and you just don't know basketball the way you think you do.
My job was to leave the game better than I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful for me that I had a league to play in? No, she's being the mentor that she is, and she's supporting and loving and sitting courtside cheering on Juju Watkins. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA.
That seems to always have something negative to say about Caitlin Clark. Recently in a podcast she had with Candace Parker, and Candace Parker gave some things that, you know, Caitlin could work on, still giving her credit for the things she's done so far. But it seems as though Jemele Hill had to throw little shots in there, and it's obvious that she's on that same time in that Cheryl Swoops when it comes to disrespecting Caitlin Clark, man.
Yeah, because she, I always thought her, as much as she was known for the logo threes and all that, it's her passing with how she can
100%
control the game. Just freakish floor vision. I know she had that 10 turnover game.
Yeah.
But that's something.
That's like a learning. I think all of us young turn the ball over.
Oh, you really thought that? I never heard you say that before. When has Jemele Hill ever talked about Caitlin Clark's passing? If someone can show me some video of it, I'm just curious to know, when has she been complimentary of Caitlin Clark, in fact?
Jemele Hill is one of those people. Jemele Hill had to throw little shots in there, and it's obvious that she's on that same time in that Cheryl Swoops when it comes to disrespecting Caitlin Clark, man. Let's get into this video.
Let's talk about this Jemele Hill, Candace Parker situation. Let's see what they're talking about.
Number of things that Angel can improve on, will improve on in the situation she's in. And I think Caitlin Clark has done that even in her first year in terms of, you know, being able to be that floor general. Her and Aaliyah Boston's connection has really improved. And I think the thing about Caitlin, yes, she can shoot from the logo, but she makes her team better.
Like Clark leading in assists for 3 straight college seasons, or being 4th in MVP voting as a rookie.
Oh, you really thought that? I never heard you say that before. When has Jemele Hill ever talked about Caitlin Clark's passing? If someone can show me some video of it, I'm just curious to know, when has she been complimentary of Caitlin Clark, in fact? Yeah, not too often. Not much, in fact. So the passing, yeah. It's funny that when people talk about the passing, the Angel Reese fans largely start going anti-passing. Oh, well, you didn't talk. She wasn't about the passing. No, she led the country in assists for 3 straight years. What are you talking about in college basketball? She was the leading scorer for...
So I just think that it's like comparing apples and oranges. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
at least
they don't play the same position.
They like doing the like Magic and the Bird comparison. Well, they played similar positions. Like Bird wasn't a point guard, but